In this narrative, I, a 27-year-old woman, have been blissfully married to William, also 27, for 3 years. Our romantic journey began after reconnecting at a random encounter in a restaurant, following a friendship that dates back to our high school days. We exchanged numbers, shared several dates, and eventually tied the knot. Yet, before me, William was involved with Mia, a girl from our high school who was a year junior to us. William and Mia had been a couple since middle school. Although William and I weren't close friends at the time, our mutual acquaintances meant I often saw them together. After graduating, William moved to another state for college, and our contact dwindled until that serendipitous meeting years later. When I inquired about Mia during our catch-up, William revealed that they had parted ways about a year and a half prior. Mia had ended the relationship, seeking to explore different paths in life. Yet, she implied a possible future reconciliation, essentially keeping William as a fallback option while exploring single life guilt-free. Despite their breakup, William maintained a courteous, albeit distant, relationship with Mia, having largely moved on by the time we started dating. I was intrigued by the matured William I met after college, far different from the high school acquaintance I remembered. Our relationship blossomed effortlessly, built on a foundation of mutual respect and ease, qualities William confessed were absent with Mia. Mia, during their time together, often left William feeling neglected, choosing to spend her days out with friends and flirting with others, seldom checking in on William or valuing his feelings. The ongoing issue, however, stemmed from William's mother, Sophia, who adored Mia. Mia and Sophia had developed a close bond when William and Mia were together, often engaging in lengthy conversations and mutual flattery. Sophia's continued admiration for Mia led to an awkward tradition where Mia was invited to every family event to ostensibly show how William had chosen wrongly by being with me instead of her. This arrangement strained our family gatherings, culminating in a dramatic fallout during my birthday celebration. Frustrated and hurt, William finally decided it was time to set boundaries, resulting in Mia being excluded from our lives moving forward. This decision marked a turning point, allowing William and me to foster our relationship without the overshadowing presence of past entanglements, reaffirming our commitment to each other and the life we chose together. Throughout my relationship with William, there's been an ongoing challenge involving his ex, Mia, and his mother, Sophia. Despite William and Mia's breakup, Sophia has continued to invite Mia to all family events, maintaining a close friendship with her. They even chat frequently, which I found unsettling when I first started dating William. During our initial Christmas gathering 4 years ago, just 8 months into our relationship, Mia's presence was particularly difficult for me. She targeted me with mean-spirited jokes about my appearance, disguising her digs as humor. William tried to defend me, but Sophia dismissed his concerns, placing me in a tough position. In that moment, I chose not to show any hurt, fearing it might make me look insecure. Instead, I responded indifferently, which seemed to unsettle both Sophia and Mia. That night, back at home, William apologized for their behavior and offered to speak to his mother about not inviting Mia in the future. However, I encouraged him not to. I didn't want to give Mia or Sophia the satisfaction of thinking they had affected me. I believed it was important to show that I wasn't intimidated by their tactics. Since then, every family event hosted by Sophia has included Mia, and each occasion has been marked by similar behaviors, snide remarks, backhanded compliments, and unnecessary references to her past with William, all aimed at making me uncomfortable. Despite this, I've consistently maintained my composure, facing each situation with resilience and a determination not to let their behavior impact me. This stance, although challenging, has been my way of asserting my place in William's life and demonstrating that their attempts to undermine me have fallen flat. I've been managing to keep my cool despite Sophia frequently implying that Mia would have been a more suitable wife for William, suggesting she was the daughter-in-law she'd always wanted. Despite these remarks, I remained unbothered as long as William stayed by my side. This indifference became my shield, and I resolved to maintain this stance for the foreseeable future. The incident that prompted me to share this occurred 5 days ago during Sophia's 50th birthday celebration. Typically, Sophia's birthday is a big affair, attended by family and friends. This year, however, William wanted to attend his co-worker's engagement party, which coincidentally fell on the same day. His co-worker was celebrating a once-in-a-lifetime event, and William felt compelled to be there. Despite this, Sophia insisted William attend her birthday instead, and eventually he agreed. Like every other family gathering, Mia was there, dressed extravagantly, and even Sophia seemed more dressed up than usual for her own birthday. William and I planned a quick exit after the birthday cake cutting to finally make it to the engagement party. At about 6:10 p.m., my father-in-law brought out 3 cakes, which was unexpected. One cake was to wish Sophia a happy birthday, and the other had a message about an almost anniversary for William and me, which was a surprise to everyone, including us. Before we could get an explanation from Sophia, Mia took the spotlight. She revealed that exactly 10 years ago, on Sophia's birthday, William had given her a promise ring when they were both 17 and about to head to different colleges. Mia still wore the ring and took this moment to flaunt it to everyone. She then pulled William next to her and gave him an awkward hug, which he didn't reciprocate. Sophia seemed delighted by the spectacle, praising how it was fine for them to overshadow her birthday to mark this nostalgic moment. The whole scene was absurd. William and I, along with everyone else, were left speechless, mouths agape, as we watched the bizarre spectacle unfold. For a few long moments, nobody said a word, unsure of how to react to the drama Mia was stirring up. She rambled on, claiming William was her almost husband and Sophia her almost mother-in-law, celebrating their almost anniversary, as if the rest of us were missing some inside joke. Sophia, playing along, cut what she dubbed the anniversary cake, first feeding Mia and then attempting to feed William. At that moment, William seemed to snap back to reality and recoiled from his mother as she approached him with the cake. Sophia's confusion was evident as she questioned him, which was the last straw for William. He erupted in anger, unleashing years of pent-up frustration on both Mia and Sophia. He accused them of being shallow, stupid, and delusional to the point of embarrassment, expressing disgust that he had ever been involved with Mia and was related to Sophia. This was a side of William I had rarely seen. He was typically calm and collected, not given to outbursts. It must have taken a lot to push him to this point, but Sophia, with Mia's help, had managed to do just that. After his tirade, William stormed out of the party, and I hurried after him. We caught a cab to his co-worker's engagement party. Throughout the ride, he was visibly upset, and he made it clear he didn't want to discuss his mother or his ex-girlfriend. Respecting his wishes, I let the topic drop. At the engagement party, surrounded by friends and colleagues, William's mood gradually improved. It was a relief to see him start to feel better as the evening progressed. By the time we returned home, he seemed almost back to his normal self. Curious and maybe a bit concerned, I decided to bring up the party incident again, thinking he might be ready to talk. Unfortunately, he wasn't, and the conversation took a surprising turn. William admitted that while Sophia and Mia's actions were out of line, I wasn't completely blameless either. He explained that I had also played a role in the dynamics that led to the public spectacle, a perspective I hadn't considered but now needed to reflect on. I had unwittingly forced William into silence, allowing Sophia and Mia to act as they pleased during our family gatherings. My focus was on proving how little their opinions affected me, but I was so caught up in displaying my indifference that I overlooked how this situation impacted William. He was equally embroiled in this mess, yet I failed to recognize his discomfort. The silent battles I thought I was fighting with Sophia and Mia were affecting him the most, and I hadn't even considered his feelings. He didn't expect much from his mother or his ex, but he did from me. He felt I had let him down by prioritizing my need to seem unaffected over his well-being. That night, when William pointed this out, I initially dismissed his feelings as harsh and unfair. However, after some reflection, I realized he was right. For years, I had passively allowed his mother to invite his ex to our family events, subtly undermining me, without considering how this affected William. I had been so focused on my personal vendetta against their behavior that I ignored the emotional toll it took on him. After some soul-searching and discussions with friends, I acknowledged my mistake. I realized that in my attempt to appear unfazed by Mia and Sophia, I had neglected to consider William's feelings. It was time to stop this charade for his sake. I had forced him to suppress his emotions to maintain my facade of indifference, compromising our relationship in the process. I deeply regretted my actions. William had been distant since the party, and in response, I reverted to my usual tactic of acting as if it didn't affect me. This approach had always been my defense mechanism, pretending things didn't bother me, even when they did, a habit that I now recognized as unhealthy. It was clear I needed to change if I wanted our marriage to succeed. Determined to make amends, I took a day off work to focus on mending our relationship. I picked up dinner from his favorite restaurant and bought a chocolate cake with an apology written in icing. I set everything up at home, creating a romantic atmosphere to show how sincerely sorry I was. It was a small gesture, but a heartfelt one, aimed at healing the wounds I had inadvertently caused and starting a conversation about our feelings and how we could better support each other moving forward. William has always had a soft spot for the heartfelt apologies often found in romantic comedies, and given how genuinely remorseful I was for everything I had unintentionally put him through, I decided to go for that approach. He came home to find a romantic dinner set up, and it took him no time to forgive me. Within 22 minutes of his arrival, we were reconciling, tears and all. I was terrified of losing him during our silent stretch, but talking everything out really mended things between us. I opened up to him about my deep-seated need to be seen as laid-back and nonchalant, a facade I maintained just to seem cool and avoid vulnerability. This habit, I realized, lay at the heart of our recent troubles. William not only understood but also appreciated my honesty in confronting these issues rather than suppressing them. He even apologized for his part in our recent strife, though I felt he had no need to. His apology was just a testament to his kind nature and his love for me, making me feel incredibly fortunate. After dinner, we finally discussed the incident with Mia and Sophia. I hadn't thought much about either of them since the party and our fight, but Sophia had been bombarding William with messages, urging him to apologize to a supposedly devastated Mia. I struggled to keep my eyes from rolling as I read through Sophia's guilt-tripping texts. She was pushing the narrative that the whole almost anniversary cake was a harmless joke, but that seemed like a weak excuse for what was clearly an attempt to humiliate me at the party. The idea that Sophia and Mia thought they could brush off their actions as just a joke was absurd, especially given the disrespect it showed towards our marriage. William had ignored Sophia's messages, but seeing them that day made us decide it was time to cut contact completely. We were done with the drama. 2 days ago, we took the step of blocking Sophia and Mia on all social media. William also told his father that he no longer wished to speak to his mother. His dad, understanding but caught in a difficult position between his son and his wife, chose not to get involved. This decision was hard but necessary to protect our peace and move forward from the negativity that had overshadowed our lives. William has had his share of difficulties with his family over the past few years, and while I don't agree with how his father handles things, there's not much I can do about it. Everything seemed calm until today when William abruptly called, saying he needed to rush to the hospital because his mother had reportedly fallen down the stairs and fractured her leg. His maternal uncle was the one who informed him, and we both headed to the hospital immediately. However, as soon as we arrived at the hospital parking lot, we were stopped in our tracks. Sophia was there, completely unharmed, alongside Mia. They confessed that the entire hospital story was a ruse to get William's attention after he had blocked them on all platforms. I wasn't expected to show up, but they ignored me and focused on William, pretending as if they hadn't orchestrated this whole scenario. Mia tried to brush off her actions at the party as just a prank, claiming no harm was intended, with Sophia backing her up. William listened for a short while before bluntly telling his mother and ex to leave him alone, visibly shocking them with his firm rejection. We walked away together, and as we were about to drive off, Sophia began yelling at us. We didn't stick around to listen. It was clear she was willing to do anything, even lie about a serious injury, to manipulate her way into William's life again. Overwhelmed by the day's events, William decided to go home to unwind, while I had to return to work. During my shift, I received a call from an unknown number, which turned out to be Sophia. She yelled into the phone before I could even fully grasp what was happening, using a string of expletives. All I could make out was the anger in her voice. I had nothing to do with William's actions. She had driven her son to this point, not me. After hanging up, I blocked her number and tried to focus on my work. When I finally got home around 7 p.m., I talked it over with William. He was just as fed up and decided to block not only his mother, but also his uncle and any other relatives who might conspire with her. It was clear that Sophia would stop at nothing to force a reconciliation, but we were determined to maintain our boundaries. It was a tough situation, but setting these limits was all we could do to preserve our peace. Despite their disruptive actions, Sophia and Mia haven't gone so far as to make overt threats or engage in persistent stalking, so pursuing a restraining order initially seemed unnecessary. However, William has discussed the latest incidents with his dad, who, despite his love for his son, remains reluctant to intervene in the situation. I have my own thoughts on how he's handling things, or rather, not handling them. It's disappointing to see a father not standing up for his son, especially against manipulative behavior from his wife. Out of respect for William's relationship with his dad, I've held back my opinions, but it's challenging to watch how this family dynamic unfolds, given their self-centered attitudes. In a recent update, last week, things escalated to a point where we felt we had no choice but to file for a restraining order against Sophia and Mia. Here's what happened. 2 days ago, as I followed my usual Thursday routine of stopping for a frappuccino at a coffee shop near my office, I encountered a premeditated attack. Sophia and Mia were apparently waiting for me there. As soon as I walked in, they threw their coffees at my face. Mia took it a step further by smearing whipped cream into my hair. I was too shocked to react immediately and just stood there frozen until the baristas came to my aid. The staff at the coffee shop were incredibly supportive, dropping everything to help me clean up. The customers were also very understanding, and one of them even suggested calling the police, which I did. I reported the incident and pressed charges against both Sophia and Mia. Unfortunately, they were only given a slap on the wrist and a fine, as their actions were classified as a misdemeanor and didn't cause physical harm. This kind of behavior can't be overlooked, and while their previous actions didn't warrant legal boundaries, this attack made it clear that stricter measures were necessary to ensure our safety and peace of mind. We are now taking legal steps to protect ourselves from any further harassment. This decision wasn't made lightly, but it's essential for maintaining our well-being in the face of such outright hostility and manipulation. The incident at the coffee shop left a lasting mark, both literally and metaphorically. The coffee they threw not only stained my favorite work outfit beyond repair, but it also stained my perception of safety and normalcy. Despite this, we pressed charges, ensuring the incident was noted on their record, which could bolster our case if needed in the future. William initially wanted to take our story public, to share it on social media so that others could be aware of Mia and his mother's behavior. However, he reconsidered when he saw that I preferred to move past the incident quietly without further public scrutiny. The truth is, the attack did shake me more than I'd like to admit. It seemed minor, but it was a stark reminder of what could potentially happen. They knew my routines and even my home address, which made me realize the danger of what could have been a more harmful situation. This year had been financially stable for us, and we had already been considering moving to a new home. Now, fueled by the need for safety and a fresh start, moving felt not just like a consideration, but a necessity. Furthermore, William and I have been discussing starting a family. The thought of bringing children into this situation was unsettling, and we've decided that my in-laws will not have a role in our children's lives, especially after their recent actions and my father-in-law's continuous refusal to step in. The final straw came when William confronted his father about his lack of intervention post-incident, which led to a significant argument and ultimately William cutting off ties with him as well. It's a relief to think that from now on, we won't have to deal with any more chaos from that part of his family. We're looking forward to a peaceful, quieter life, focusing on our future together and the new beginnings that await us.